Oh my goodness. Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Christina K. This is my amazing twin sister, Melissa K. And we did another cruise, another Disney cruise. It is wild. We went on the all-new Disney Treasure. Just to give you a little backstory, I work in radio, so Disney is an amazing media partner of ours. They invited us on a media sailing before it was open to the public on the Disney Treasure. So it was about a month, more than a month ago.
Time flies.
Time flies. But we're going to give you a recap, answer some of your questions. Now, this was a media sailing. It was 3 nights. So the Disney Treasure is a 6-night cruise. So our experience is going to be different for 2 reasons. 1, it was only half the amount of time. 2, there was only 1,700 people on board and 4,600 people is the occupancy. And we had some media opportunities. So we do have some different experiences, but we do have a lot to share. I want you to be as honest as possible, which we all know she can do. And we need to start with just walking into the ship. Now, we did the Wish. That's the only other cruise we've done. And it was also a media sailing. And I feel like even though they're laid out very similar, the whole experience, night and day.
The Treasure's just so much better.
The theming of the Treasure, the minute we walked on, I was like, this is going to be our favorite. Now, with the Wish, when we were leaving the Wish, they were still like hammering banisters in. Like it wasn't ready. I feel like some of the cast was not prepared and everything, like our server. This time around, they were ready to go.
It was like a well-oiled machine. So it was pretty impressive that they hadn't even set sail yet.
Yeah, so between that and the theming, spoiler alert, we loved this one so much better. So much better. Also, so Cinderella was the Wish, right? When you walked in. This was Aladdin. Aladdin is her favorite Disney movie. So we knew she was going to love it immediately. But I just think it was like more grand.
It was, and I felt like it was more immersive.
Yes.
That you were like in Agrabah or something.
Like I feel like the Wish is beautiful, but it's very like bright and like almost like white walls compared to what this was, right?
It's just like the little touches, like even just like the curtains hanging or like the cutouts being in the specific shapes that they were. You just felt like just so much more immersed.
And I think the theming throughout the ship too, what they chose just worked way better.
I mean, I preferred it.
She loves Aladdin. She also really loves Zootopia. So the fact that the sweet shop, and even that I felt was more immersive than the Inside Out one on The Wish. So you're going to see this theme throughout, but I think we have to start with the food. So there are a lot of similarities between The Wish and the Treasure, just in terms of layout. I feel like it was almost like probably going forward, this is going to be a cookie cutter experience. At times you thought that, but at times you didn't. So when you walk into the Grand Hall, which, like we said, gorgeous, 1923 is on the left, just like it was. Now, our sailing was the second media sailing, so we got all the night 2 menus. We loved 1923 on the Wish. That was our favorite dinner.
That was our favorite meal that we had.
That was our last night on the Treasure, and we didn't
even go.
Not to do it because I was so excited when we heard 1923 was on the ship. We were gonna get that peppercorn fillet. We were excited. The menu for us, now I have coworkers that was their favorite meal. There wasn't really anything I personally could have had on the menu. But what's great is that you don't necessarily have to go to that. I think you are able to.
You can request to eat somewhere else.
Yes, which we didn't do because we were like, it's media, like we don't want to do that. But what we did, and something, I feel like we didn't take advantage a lot of the things that were available on the Wish. And that's probably, I was going through some health stuff at that time. So that might be, on me. But we decided to eat at Mickey's Festival of Foods, which we didn't do at all on the Wish.
It was like actually amazing because everyone's in dinner or like doing something else before they had dinner. So it was like so quiet and nice and empty, and like we actually had a minute to like decompress and like enjoy ourselves.
And the schedule for me was go on this. So that was really nice to just kind of pick what we wanted for dinner, be next to the water, have a moment. And the food was really good. We had 2 lunches at Festival of Foods. Melissa had the ice cream every day, which you did not get to do on the Wish. So we really loved Mickey's Festival of Foods. Shout out to the sweet potato fries.
Sweet potato fries, the jalapeno cornbread, the
is that what the cornbread was? I forgot that. Yeah, the mac and cheese. You didn't even get to try Donald's Canteen.
No, because I kept going back for the cornbread.
I did my radio show directly across from it, so I was smelling it, and I was like, I have to take advantage of this. So I got taco bowl, which for me could be scary at places because I can't have cheese. No, totally customizable. Had the tacos, sweet potato fries, all the potato salads, macaroni salads. We had the burgers at Goofy's Grill. So good. And we had spent 5 days at Walt Disney World before
Prior.
that. So we were like, we don't really want to have like the whole burger and fry. It was great. We really, really enjoyed that. So we did that instead of going to 1923. However, we did do 1923 2 mornings. So we did it the very first morning, which the theming in 1923 is amazing. And we actually got to eat this time on both sides, the Walt and the Roy side, which is cool. So we had that the first morning, which going for breakfast there in the morning is so peaceful. No one's there.
Nice.
It's so nice. And it's like elegant. It's just great. And then we had it the last morning, which I will say, if you remember the last morning on the Wish, I ordered a Belgian waffle. It was an
like
Eggo.
Eggo waffles.
You ordered a Belgian waffle. It was actually a Belgian waffle the last day.
So bizarre.
Yeah. So, I mean, the quality, like my eggs were like, oh, okay, the last morning. But still, it was, like we keep saying,
so much better than the Wish.
Yes. Another restaurant that was the same is Worlds of Marvel. I mean, looks exactly the same. Now, on the Wish, that is their night 1 for the treasure. So you get like the Paul Rudd show. I have friends who have been on it now. They confirmed that. There's a couple of differences with characters. Like I think Captain Marvel might be on this instead of Miss Marvel on the show. But that's the night 1 menu and show. We had night 2, which let's talk about the menu first. Very different than night 1.
This was a little bit of a fail,
in
my opinion.
You preferred the night 1?
I preferred the night 1 menu. However, with that being said, I think my favorite thing that I ate on the cruise the entire time was one of the appetizers there.
And you only got it.
I only ordered it because our server suggested it to me.
Yeah.
And it was the only appetizer I wasn't getting. So I was like, all right, sure, why not?
Every appetizer she got, every dessert she got. So if you need questions on the menu,
and yes,
this is your person.
I do eat them all.
She does.
It's
she
not
does.
just for like a picture.
Yeah, and she eats like all of them all for the most part. I mean, if she doesn't like something, she won't. But I want to say our server so much better this time.
Yes, the fact that she even recommended something at all, and then it was
got
a
to know
phenomenal
us a little bit.
Suggestion.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Disney Cruise Line, you have the same server every night. It's rotational dining, which as someone with like food, issues, that I love that. Now, I can't have dairy. So on the Wish, it was a dairy-free menu they gave me. I noticed on this, they show you what's dairy-free, what's gluten-free. So you get the same menu, but you know what you can have on that. So that, I preferred that. And I didn't have any issues with any of the foods that I had. It was great. I really liked my meal. The appetizer, I think I preferred at Worlds of Marvel Night 1 on the Wish. It was still good on this one. I just preferred that one. I think my entree was way better on this one. I did not love my entree on the Wish. And then the dessert was great. It was like I had dairy-free ice cream with peach pie. So good.
I will say the desserts were a fail.
Yeah.
All around. I ordered every single dessert
on Worlds of Marvel or on the cruise? Okay.
And they were all terrible.
Yeah, she's like, we need to go now because I'm not finishing these. Yeah, you didn't seem like you were so thrilled with dessert, and she's a big dessert person. Yeah. So yeah, I saw that. The show. Now I was really excited because the show was Guardians. It was it was Groot. It was Rocket. They focused definitely on the Marvel trivia, which is fine if you're in a big competitive group or whatever. Okay.
It got old after like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think for kids it's gonna be fun. But
the show was terrible.
It was weak.
It was like almost annoying to have like this loud like interruption as you're trying to eat and have a conversation. Yeah. Where I didn't really feel that on the Wish. Like I feel so it would be the night 1 show.
Yeah,
I feel
and
like
that was
show
a big show
had
too.
A point.
Yeah.
This one was so weird. And then at one point like the waiters like come out and they're like
cheering something.
Where's Groot? And like they're trying to find like it was a no for me.
Yeah.
Like I just want to eat my food.
Yeah.
Like unless it's like Plaza de Coco with like an actual point to the show. I just want to eat my food.
Plaza de Coco was night 1. Now on the Wish, that is the Frozen themed restaurant, which I love Frozen, the theming of Frozen. The food you actually really enjoyed the food at Frozen.
I did. It had my favorite.
Oh yeah, it was Sen's carrot soup.
The carrot soup.
Memory. Plaza de Coco was exceptional on every
from start to finish.
Yeah. As soon as you walk through it, the theming of like it's a very long hallway to get to the restaurant.
So much better than the Frozen theming.
Now you saw
immersive.
Coco a couple days before.
Yes, I watched it on the plane.
Yes, so
super fresh.
You had to really appreciate the theming of this restaurant.
It was super immersive. I thought they did a phenomenal job with the theming. This like even in the hallway walking down,
you feel like you're in the movie. You truly. The Frozen restaurant, you saw, it felt like a Frozen themed restaurant. This felt like you were in the movie. we got to hang out with the voice of Miguel, the director of Coco, and even they were blown away by this experience. That's how you know. But the theming throughout was incredible. The show. Now, when we went on The Wish, the sound, there's a lot of sound issues. There was not a single issue with the show, and it was so cool. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. If you saw the vlogs, by the way, we get more in depth with all this stuff. But the characters that come out, the storytelling of the show, and we saw night 2, so I can't even imagine night 1. But they have the ofrenda when you walk in, which is like, I got so emotional seeing that. And then, now we missed it because we went shopping. I don't know if you know this, but Dante was actually comes out. I know.
But like, what?
So they really do incorporate a lot of fan favorites from the movie. They have the most amazing musicians that are performing and dancers. I was blown away. The food. Let's talk about the food.
Is good.
I didn't really know what I was ordering. I just knew it was dairy free, so I was like, I can have it. They have like hummus guac, I think it was, that I got for an appetizer. So good. They also give you lots of chips instead of the bread service. It's chips and salsa. Loved. What did you get for your appetizer?
All of them.
What was the standout one?
The avocado soup was actually amazing. That was
What about soup in that restaurant?
I know that it was just like super refreshing.
Yeah.
And like I will say, some of the other soups I've ordered at the
World of Marvel was it was like a broccoli cheddar soup or something.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Even the waitress was like, "Yeah, that didn't look good."
Yeah. But you love the soup. And then what was your entree? I don't remember.
I had a steak entree. I don't remember specifically what it was, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I couldn't even tell you what I had. Phenomenal. But my favorite thing I ate the entire cruise, which is surprising coming from a type 1 diabetic, was the dessert at Plaza de Coco. Y'all, it was churros. I don't care. I know I got hate for this. Disneyland churros are great. These superior, and I'm not the only one that said that. They were incredible. Did you try it at all?
I didn't, because I was eating my chips.
They were so good. They had like a dipping sauce. You didn't even eat them. Like, that's one of the foods that I think about often. I just came back literally today from Mexico, and they had churros in Mexico, and the whole time I was eating them, I was like, oh, Plaza de Coco was better. Like, so, and I was with other people that were on the treasure, and they agree. That was my favorite part. We were hysterical laughing. Like, so good. Since we're talking about desserts, let's talk about the sweet shop. Jumbo's Sweet Shop from Zootopia. This was an actual sweet shop.
It was so cool.
The theming was incredible. And they're works of art, all the dessert. Now, you tried what were they?
They were chocolate covered strawberries
that look like
but they were carrots, and
so cute.
Yeah.
So the theming was great. I had, and I think you tried a little bit of it too, the popsicles that they have, the popsicles in the movie. They had a couple different versions of what that is. I had this shortbread one. I don't even know what was in the middle of it. So good.
This is my only wish, I wish they had it as like an actual popsicle, because I would have 100% gotten
Yeah, same. But I think because they have they have so many different ice cream flavors, and then you have the ice cream on the ship, so maybe that's why they didn't do it. I don't know. Maybe they tried it. I'm not sure. But it was so cute in there. I wish we had more time. I'm glad that we actually tried treats on this one, because we didn't for the Inside Out one. We just had no time. So I'm editing, and I realized there was 2 things I left out, probably more, but 2 things that I can recall not mentioning in that video that I sat down to film with my sister. One, I said I was going to put a pin in the Magic Band thing, never got back to it. We used the Magic Band Plus for the first time because Disney gave that to me for the treasure, and it was so convenient on the cruise. I don't know if I would use it in Walt Disney World because I still have those other Magic Bands, the Magic Band 2s, but I'd be interested to use it in Aulani and Disneyland, where that's the only Magic Band that you could use, but it worked out so nicely getting in and out of the cabin. Little too nicely for paying for things, and my Visa card discount was linked to it immediately, so that was very nice. Getting on and off the ship too for Castaway, that was really convenient, and getting on and off the ship in general, it was really, really convenient. So if you have a Magic Band, tell them to link it when you get to the port so you can use it on the ship. Highly recommend. And then the other thing when we were talking about food was we never mentioned Marceline's Market, which we ate on the Wish. We ate twice, and actually the exact 2 times we ate this time when you got on the ship, which some of the restaurants are open for you to eat, like Plaza de Coco was open, but we went to Marceline's and the food was way better this time. Lunch was so good, and so was breakfast the morning of Castaway. We didn't love it on the Wish. Again, for that media sailing, things weren't ready, but it was so good this time, and I highly recommend. Still have not tried the churro Mickey waffles, though. One day. Something I also really loved about this one is that the Disney parks, which is probably my favorite thing in the entire world, are represented on the cruise, on the Treasure. The thing that everyone's talking about, we probably should start with that, is the Haunted Mansion parlor. I mean, we had the Star Wars themed bar or lounge on the Wish, which was cool.
This was better.
But it wasn't as immersive. This is iconic because you really feel like you're getting out of the Doom buggy. You're in that hallway scene and you get to actually open the door like you do in the hallway they have in the hallways and see what's beyond, which is so cool. Now, it is very hard to get into, and I feel like when those ships are full occupancy.
I know. I can't imagine what it's actually like.
It will also be a 6-night cruise, so maybe
there's
it'll
more
be
time.
spread out, and there'll be more kids on board, so maybe...
It was hard to get in.
It was hard to get in, and we were medium. So once you were in and you found a spot, you were staying there.
Yeah.
We did get to try just about every drink on the menu.
We tried every drink on the menu. Oh, I tried every drink on the
menu.
And I will tell you, they're all disgusting.
It's a very interesting menu. Now, I heard the other drinks that aren't like the themed ones, but we just wanted to have the themed ones, are okay. But I thought where the drink shined was the Skipper Society, the Jungle Cruise theme one. And I think what's cool about that is that I don't think people are going to think that that's the place to go for drinks. They want the Haunted Mansion. I think the show elements at Haunted Mansion are really cool. I think it's very chaotic, though. There's a lot going on, and it's loud with everyone talking. But then when you see things like the singing portraits behind you, the wallpaper, you get to sit in the hidden Donald chair.
That was cool.
Geeked out so hard. That was probably like the biggest geek out moment for me on the ship. It was really cool. And even like when you're leaving your magic band, which I didn't show you guys, that they gave us like a treasure inspired themed magic band. I don't know if you could buy this in the store. Put a pin in that. We'll talk about this in a second. But when you walk out, there's a really cool moment, and it's one of my personal favorite moments of the Haunted Mansion that is a part of it. So I just think the Imagineers did a fantastic job. They actually, if you saw the interview, they actually pulled stuff from the archives that didn't make it into the attraction, and they put it in the parlor, which I thought, well done, Disney. Once you step out of the Haunted Mansion, you have the Skipper Society, which we love the Jungle Cruise and the theming and the puns, and they are throughout. The drinks, it's kind of like your Trader Sam's on the seas, I would say, especially because they have like the Hippopotami Mai Tai, and their drink menu.
So much better.
So much better than Haunted Mansion Parlor. But you know what? Maybe there are some people that liked the drinks at Haunted Mansion Parlor. So my coworker John really liked the drinks. So I mean, I guess every palate.
Very bizarre combinations.
Very interesting. Now we didn't try. We accessed the secret menu. We didn't try that one, so I don't know if that's like where they shine. I don't know. But Skipper Society, I feel like, is underrated.
Very underrated.
Everyone wants to talk about the Haunted Mansion Parlor. Give the love to the Skipper Society.
I will take the Skipper Society also because it's open on either side, so you don't have like that noise that you have in the parlor. And in the parlor, something's going on like every couple minutes, so it's like almost overstimulating in a way.
Totally. But you don't feel that with Skipper Society. And they have things going on all times of the day too for the family. There's live music, so I thought that was really cool. And I feel like another place that I didn't really realize going into it was a part of the ship was Periscope Pub. The theming in there, it's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So cool.
It's interesting because, like, if I had the choice, like, okay, where do you want to go, like, between the Haunted Mansion Parlor and there, like, I would pick there. Like, I feel like it's going to be a lot quieter.
Well, you went back to the so it was one of our good friends' 40th birthday, so we went there, and it was late at night. Everyone was in there. There was a game on because they do play games there. So it was a little bit more crowded, but it wasn't, like, loud where I'm like, I can't hear what you're saying at the next table. So that was definitely, and the seating was a lot more comfortable there too. So I will say that. And it was just cool because it's kind of out of the way and not a lot of people know about it. There's a lot of like hidden lounges that people aren't talking about. Like we did another surprise party that last night at Triton's Lounge. I don't think anybody knows that exists. It was very nice. And the drinks in there are actually better than Haunted Mansion too. So there's a lot of other elements on the ship. Everyone's just talking about the Haunted Mansion, and I get it. It's iconic.
It's so cool. It's something that, like, if I hadn't seen it, I would want to see it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Like, I'm really glad that I did see it, but I think there are so many other hidden gems that are very underrated.
Absolutely. So we talked about the food a lot on a cruise, but also the entertainment. We saw every single show, which we didn't get a chance to do on the Wish because it wasn't all ready. So the first night was exactly the same as the first night on the Wish, and I am so happy about that. Disney sees the adventure. The star is goofy. That's all you need to know. It is incredible, and it's actually even better than I remembered. It makes me so happy. We're gonna talk about the second night in a minute because that was the best. The last night is something that if you've been on other cruises, you may have seen, and that is Disney's Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if it's the same Beauty and the Beast on every ship, but this is based on the live action. Beauty and the Beast is my all-time favorite movie. I am very much a theater live show girl. I didn't love it.
It fell flat for me.
Yeah. The cast was talented. The Gaston, phenomenal.
And I don't know if this is why it fell flat, is because Gaston was so
good.
amazing that everyone else, even though they were good, it was just like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like a different caliber.
Yeah. And it was very much with the puppets, which if you've ever seen Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, it's not puppets. So the puppets were an interesting take, and it was the live action puppets, which I don't love the live action movies, so maybe that's why. Now there are people, our friend Tim, that's his favorite show on the cruise line. So for me, it just wasn't my personal favorite. Night 2, The Tale of Moana.
That was extremely well done.
My sister's not a big theater person, or Moana.
And I'm not a big Moana person, honestly, and I really went to this kind of expecting nothing. And
her jaw was dropped.
They did a great job. They did a phenomenal job.
It's a little bit different than the movie because you don't have like Pua and Hey Hey. And Maui was a very different kind of Maui. They definitely took some interesting interpretations. It was. There were some different interpretations, but it was very well done on stage. The puppets.
It was jaw-dropping. Like, it was truly incredible to watch.
And everyone, I mean, I was crying during it. It was, Disney nailed it with that one. Yeah. They really, really did.
But then going from that and then seeing Beauty and the Beast,
it was letdown.
Really, you notice the difference.
And I was like, okay, if this is Moana, Beauty and the Beast is going to be amazing. And we have a friend who was LeFou in Beauty and the Beast for a long time, so I was like, this is going to be amazing. Not so much, but Moana
was incredible.
Definitely. If you're not planning on seeing the shows, make it a point to see the Moana. And they do multiple showings throughout the day. They just did it on hours, but they have a matinee one too for Moana because that's how popular it is.
And I get why.
So well done. Also, on this ship, I will say, there's definitely more entertainment throughout the ship in the different lounges, like the Scat Cat Lounge, which was also really cool. On the stage in the lobby, the Grand Hall, which we didn't experience on the Wish. We also, for the first time, even though we've done a cruise before, got to see the sail away party because it downpoured the first time we went. We both were very, very emotional for that. That is something we've dreamed of seeing our entire lives. So cool. They also had a pirate show, not part of the fireworks, like beforehand with the characters.
And that was really cute.
We thought it was going to be like a little kid thing. No,
yeah, it was adorable.
So good. Then, of course, you have fireworks on Pirates Night. Incredible that they do that at sea. The pirate show before that is incredible. There was so much entertainment on board. There was even like an Indiana Jones show that we didn't have time to see. Like, I feel like there is a lot of immersive entertainment on this ship.
I
all throughout. Also, when we went on the Wish, it was 2022 and it was still very much pandemic times.
You couldn't even hug the characters.
No. So on this one, it was kind of like a lot of times doing this for the first time because getting to hug Goofy in his sailor outfit, like as a little kid, like that's what I wanted to do. Donald, for you. Even when we went on Castaway, there were no characters when we went on Castaway. There were a ton, and their outfits, Chippendale.
Okay, but Donald's wearing floaties. Like, and they're
so
different.
Cute.
Each one's different.
You could see all of this on our vlogs. Absolutely incredible. Castaway. We gotta talk about that now. So the first time we went on, we were like, we really didn't spend any time. Maybe an hour, 2 hours. It had to be like 2 hours because we had lunch. It was like the end of the lunch rush.
So it wasn't great.
We got to go in the water, but we really didn't get to see a lot of the island. This time it was even less time. We literally saw Minnie, Chippendale, took like Christmas pictures because this was in December. Saw Donald, went to the 2 stores, then had to power walk back because I had interviews to do. So the shopping was better this time around, because remember the last time we wanted t-shirts?
They had no sizing. It was really difficult to like find what you wanted.
They still had some sizing issues, but not nearly as much as the first time. Like, I spent way more money on Castaway this time than I did the first time. So we're still not the people to ask about Castaway. Maybe third time will be a charm. Still haven't seen Serenity Bay. Like, I still feel like
we
a
were
lot
there
of the
for
island,
literally like 50 minutes. So you
and
cannot
was rushing.
go by that.
Yeah. We were rushing big time. I still love Castaway. It was very windy. I will say the weather in December, which, okay. We got this question a lot the first time and a couple of times this time. Do you feel the ship? On the Wish, I was very impressed. I was like, you know, Disney cruising, you don't feel it. I don't need C-bands. We're good. Stabilizers. Felt it way more this time.
We were going through a storm.
60-foot waves, y'all. 60-foot waves.
It was insane. Your stomach was just like tower the whole time for me. Just like the dropping. It was on the first day, and then the last day
was brutal.
Was awful. Like, I know why there's railings in the hallways now.
I had to use them.
You couldn't walk straight. Like, it was insane.
It's something that every single person is talking about. Like I said, I just got back from a trip, and there was a lot of people that were on the Treasure that were on, and they were like, never experienced anything like that in
the
their
hangers
lives.
in the closet were rattling.
We had a friend who was taking a shower and fell out of the shower, and it's like a glass door fell out.
Yeah,
like,
it was
insane.
Bad.
Yeah.
I've never experienced anything like that, and it almost makes me never want to go on a cruise again.
Well, that was going to be a question that I was going to ask. Now that you've done 2, would you go on another cruise?
I'm not jumping up and down to do another cruise because of the
weather. Now, it wasn't in December. I don't know if it's always like that in December. I feel like, too, with the Treasure, that was the ultimate for you, theming-wise.
Nothing can ever top that. Yeah. So what's the point?
I mean, I still will go on them, like, 100%. I would love to go on some of the older ones to see.
That I would do.
Yeah.
I feel like the Wish and then now the Treasure, and I feel like the Destiny, because they're playing the commercials for it already.
Yeah.
They're all cookie cutters of each other.
Yeah.
So nothing's really changing except the theme of like, oh, this show's going to be like Lion King now. Or, oh, this lounge is going to be 101 Dalmatians now. And it's like, okay.
For the Destiny, yeah. I will say the Adventure, that's the one going out of, was it Singapore? Very different. It's going to be the largest ship in their fleet. They have all these different like lands that they're creating for it. But I feel like after that, they'll go back to this cookie cutter because it's working for them.
Yeah.
Our room location too, way better this time around. It was on Deck 11. There's so much on Deck 11. Mickey's Festival of Foods. There's Dory's Forget-Me-Nots, the sweet shop. That's where I was doing my radio show. So the location worked out so much better. The room itself, very, very similar to the Wish. However, by the veranda that we had on the Wish, and I looked back, there was a chair. This, we didn't have the chair, so you had more room, but they had this dresser, and it was really cool because there was 2 of us. It was like split in half, so you put all your packing cubes on one side, I was on the other. It was very well organized. I've never done a non-Disney cruise, but I hear the rooms, in particular the bathroom, are so much better on this, and honestly, it works out very well for us. I don't know for families, but for us, it's fantastic, and you don't really feel like it's tiny.
No, I think that it's a good size, and considering you should, there's a shower built in with a tub, like a full tub, like they really fit a lot in such a tiny space.
It's very easy to get ready in the morning to relax. I mean, we spent a little bit more time on the balcony this time, not
in which she means I sat on the veranda with my ice cream and sat for 30 seconds.
That's more than we did the first time. We tried to do things that we were really upset we didn't get to do.
And also, we also were doing that because the waves were so bad that being outside was helpful.
Yeah, the first night we were sitting at Seize the Adventure, I was like, oh, I really feel it. Do I need C-bands or something? But it was because it was in the enclosed space that night. The other night, the last night, I was in a very open space on Deck 11, and you felt it, and you prayed that you were not going to get sick. I slept with a Ziploc bag next to me because you didn't know. It was
awful.
It was really fun. But other people on other cruise ships that were there at the same time said the same thing, so
we all were going through the same storm. There was no getting around it.
It was super fun. And it was very windy on Castaway too. I think it's just December.
It was the time of year.
Yeah, I also think the world right now is just very, very windy. So I don't know when you plan to go on a Treasure if it's going to be the same. Oh, speaking of, I posted a video on TikTok of our room, and someone's like, that's the exact room we're staying in. So like we've had a whole conversation about why, because you can pick which room you want to stay in. So highly recommend deck 11. One thing we didn't get to do this time was the Aqua Mouse.
They actually had it closed
most of the time because it was so windy. My coworker went on it, loved it, and then like he had to get off of it. But it's the same layout as the one on the Wish. It's just different videos, like the theming of it. So maybe next time. Didn't get to do it this time. We actually didn't go in the water at all.
Not upset about it.
December.
Wasn't the weather for it.
No, it was not. But you know what we did do? And you probably saw my haul, so you know we did do. And you could see what we're wearing. We went shopping. Now, I remember for you on the Wish, the big thing you wanted was the Wish Dooney and Burke, which when we sat down and did this video, you guys asked if you had any merch regrets. And that's what she said. Like, if money wasn't an object, which she didn't know at that time because we went in July, is I got it for her for Christmas. So she does have this bag. But I think on the Treasure, the favorite thing that she bought is the lug.
I love my cruise line lug. I could be the unofficial spokesperson for it because I rocked it from the moment I got it, and I cannot tell you how many compliments I got on it, and I did my whole little spiel explaining all the compartments and everything to everyone, and I would love to know how many purchases I have influenced.
Definitely me. I was using a crossbody Dooney and Burke bag that I got on the Wish. It was so heavy. I had like a lot of back issues going on, and I saw how convenient the lug was, so I ended up getting it. One of the best things I've ever bought in my life. It is so convenient. I used it in Magic Kingdom when we got off of the Treasure, and even really liked it in the park. We're going on a trip really soon, which we'll tell you about in a second, and I think I'm going to bring it on that trip because it is so convenient. I just went to Mexico and I missed it. I truly missed the bag. Fantastic. Everything we bought, I bought an enormous amount.
Understatement.
I bought 11 t-shirts, but I've worn them all but like 2.
Good.
Yeah. I love the merch. And when we first found, we known that we were going on the cruise for months before we did, and we saw them release
the merch,
and this was like the only thing that was like, maybe we'll get, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna love the merch on this one. Well, yeah, no, loved it, because they had the inaugural line, they had the Treasure line, and then something we didn't get on the Wish, generic Disney cruise line. We were very, very excited about that. I even could have bought more, but I talked myself out of things, so that's saying something.
If you can believe it.
Yeah, that's saying something. I also appreciated with the merch that it was 1 per person. On the Wish, things were selling out so fast. It was like pandemonium. This was 1 per person, which was fantastic for reselling 1. I just felt bad with certain things. Like if we both wanted it, I couldn't use my Visa card discount. So keep that in mind if you're like staying in a room with a discount, that you can only get it on 1 thing. But everything was like still available. I think the only things that sold out on our sailing were like the tiki mugs at Jungle Cruise and Haunted Mansion Parlor. I don't think I ever saw the ones at Haunted Mansion, quite honestly. So those are collectibles. They're expected to go. But it was nice to know that you didn't have to buy everything the first night. Like you didn't do most of your shopping the first night. Yeah. Because you weren't like,
I had a headache. I can't buy when I'm not in the right frame of mind.
I can apparently. So I did. But no regrets there. I also didn't want to buy certain things because I knew we had a next trip around the corner, unbeknownst to her. Do you want to tell everybody where we're going next?
Going to Disneyland.
We are going to Disneyland, actually on our birthday too, which is just wild the way it turned out. That was her Christmas present. Why are we going that week to Disneyland?
Because we need to meet Mushu.
We did a character bucket list video years ago of who was on the top of our bucket list, and we both said Mushu, and he's out for Lunar New Year. So we're finally going to meet Mushu. We are not going to vlog every day. Guys, the last couple of trips we've done last year, all we did were work trips. So we want to enjoy it, have sister time. We are going to a Disneyland After Dark party. May film that. I don't know yet. I'll definitely post some stuff on Instagram and TikTok because I am who I am. So make sure you're following for that. But we just really want to be in it, soak it up.
We're literally going to be there for 48 hours. So we don't even have time.
It's a little bit more than that.
Not quite even 72. So
yeah, it's a little bit more than that. We're staying at the Disneyland Hotel. We're just really excited to be going, especially before the 70th kicks off and the madness begins. But that's our next adventure. So we've got a lot of fun things coming up this year. Anything else you want to add about the Treasure?
It was beautiful and gorgeous and amazing, and I loved it.
And I can honestly say, and I have been so blessed over the years to do so many incredible broadcasts and things with Disney. Other than the very first one I ever did with Walt Disney World, because that will always be like the top, this was my favorite trip. This was incredible. And it started with Walt Disney World. We got to do all like the Christmas parties and stuff. And the treasure was so special. I mean, I can't even put it into words, like how much it meant. We got to hang out with like Linda Larkin, the voice of Princess Jasmine. I just want to brag about my sister for a second. My sister makes the magnets for our door, and she did a great job. And Stacia Martin, Disney legend Stacia Martin, who is a Disney artist, which I'm going to insert the picture. She drew for all of us. My sister got art on this trip. I was so excited. She was staying in our hallway, and we left the room one day, and her and her husband were like fangirling over the magnets, and they like complimented my sister for it.
It's the best moment of the trip.
Yeah. So that was so cool. But it was just like these moments that were like, did that really just happen? Getting to talk to Tanya, who created the Haunted Mansion wallpaper. It was like, and talk about working in Disneyland with Walt Disney. Did that just happen? Like, there was so many things. And for me, it was even more emotional the second time around, because I was like, now Disney's invited us twice on a cruise. We've gotten to do it twice. We've gotten to see like a whole new world of stuff, and really, I feel like get our cruise life on this time. I feel like we didn't as much the first time. Getting to see you every day with the ice cream cones, I don't know. There was just something about the whole trip that was really, really special to me. So thank you guys for watching this whole series, the vlogs. We had a lot of fun, and yeah, we're leaving for Disneyland in just a matter of days. So we're really excited. All right, we got to wrap it up.
I'm Melissa K.
I'm Christina K.
Have a Disney day.
You did